Not yet. Not in your lives.
Welcome everyone to the 2026 Daleville meeting of the Board of Finance for Daleville Community Schools. And if we could say the pledge, please stand, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He's got to do his nomination first.
Yep. All right, moving on to election of officers for the Board of Finance. Have you heard that? Any recommendations or motions?
Mr. President.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mrs. Yes, Diane.
I recommend status quo.
I have a motion. I hear a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Reese. I haven't heard the first, motion seconding. Aye. I'll say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it. We will have the status quo for this year's Board of Finance. And for number 3, review the estimate of summary. Superintendent Callahan.
Yeah, so in this report, it says, our Daleville Community Schools funds have been invested at First Merchants. It's happened since the 1990s. So it just talks a little bit about that historical, how we've done it. Beginning in 1999, school corporations funds have been deposited in 2 different accounts at the local bank. One account is a traditional bank account, begins each day with a balance of $50,000. That balance is made through an automatic transfer from another account. So again, it just gives you some idea of the logistics of the interests that can be accrued. This account holds the majority of the school funds. We saw a significant decrease in 2025. We received $36,738.93 in interest versus in 2024, $75,370.79. But that is attributed to the fact that we had $1,333,198 in bond proceeds. So we had received those proceeds from a bond, and that's why we had an extra $1.3 million to pull that extra interest off. So I think obviously new, I would say traditionally we would see more like that $36,000 of interest versus in that year. Unless, again, we're going to look to be doing some more bond projects. So there might be an opportunity to get back to that closer to $70,000 or more interest. So I would recommend, I guess, I don't know if you have to approve the review, but that's the review of the investment.
I think it's just consensus.
Okay.
You're right. Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 4, review of the investment policy for Daleville Community Schools. Superintendent Callahan.
Yeah, and that is, again, just our board policies. Says school board authorizes the superintendent or treasurer to make investment available monies from several funds of the corporation in accordance with Indiana law. An obligation when received by the treasurer shall be deposited with bank or trust company, have the deposit of the money of the particular fund which is the obligation was purchased. Money in several funds of the corporation may be commingled for the purpose of making an investment. Treasurer may also join with other school treasurers, again, in the regional service region for the purpose of investing corporation funds. He shall account for such investments separately. Finally, the board may authorize the board's investing officer to invest certificates of deposit from depositories that have been designated by the State Board of Finance as a depository for state funds under Indiana Code 5-13-9-5, but not have been designated by the corporation's Board of Finance established by Board Bylaw 0151-1. This authorization shall be in the form of a resolution approved by the board. Such resolution must provide that the authority to invest in the certificates of deposit granted by the resolution expires on a date that is no later than 2 years after the date of the board's vote adopting the resolution. It's in our Neola policies, so looks like 6144.
Thank you, sir. And item 5, it's the superintendent's report on fiscal and financial indicators and the financial condition of the school corporation.
Yeah, and so what you'll see is you'll have a spreadsheet. It's the historical budgets, levies, tax rates, going back to 2019. You'll see that our tax rate for 2026 actually has gone down a little bit. This is connected as well with our assessed valuation, which has gone up significantly in 2026. 2025, our AV was $243,295,218. We've gone up for almost $40 million in assessed valuation. If you look at
I saw it when I paid my taxes.
yeah, if you look at the end of the year cash balance for 2025 too, you'll see a spike from 24. Again, this is attribute that to that extra bond money that we had. And then the other thing that I really want to point out is that those current bond obligations, as we think about that tax rate, I know we're going to be working with Baker Tilly to really kind of talk through future bonds. We just did that $600,000, which the goal is to pay that off at the end of 2026. But we also have that we have a $6.2 million bond that is supposed to be retired at the end of this year as well. And so I know that Dr. Roach, part of that was that coordination of having that in the future, that $10 million to do some of the maintenance that we need to do with HVAC and various other maintenance. The other thing I just want to point out with Senate Bill 1 is that we will continue to take some hits to our operations fund. And so that's going to be something, again, I want to bring in Baker Tilly to talk to the board, talk to the public a little bit about what do those hits look like. That's our maintenance, that's our office salaries. What does that look like moving forward? I think we have room to do some bonds to protect that, but that's probably short term. There's some conversations about maybe some other solutions, but currently that Senate Bill 1 is, again, that I think our education fund is really in a good place. Get feedback. Our education fund, our ADM for this year went up. I think, Dave, we had what, 1,001 or 1,002 was our certified ADM.
1,008
Was it 8? Okay, so that was significantly. I think the 24-25 number was in there as well. Let me pull that up here real quick. So obviously that enrollment holding steady or going up will take care of our education fund, but the operation is that local tax draw. And again, that's sidewalks, doing construction projects, custodial staff. That's what that fund pays for. So I think we're okay right now, but I want to look out, next year, next 3 to 5 years, to be able to say, like, these are the things that we need to consider as a board and as a community.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions or comments from the board?
No, I gotta get back to the agenda because I went to another place, so hang on.
You're right. It's all has to be on there.
1,001.
1,001. Okay.
1,001.
I don't have it.
I wish I'd been wrong. I wish it'd been 1,000.
I like his better.
Yeah, I like yours better.
Well, we're getting ready to adjourn.
Yeah. Any other questions? This may be adjourned.
All right, we're ready for the next one. The next
Good time.